In the small coastal town of Harborview, Emily Carter sat at the kitchen table, her hands trembling as she clutched a cup of lukewarm coffee. Across from her, her teenage son, Ethan, stared down at the worn wooden floor, his backpack still slung over one shoulder. The air was heavy with unspoken words, a tension that had built up over months of misunderstandings. "Mom, please, just this once. Trust me," Ethan said, his voice barely a whisper, his eyes pleading. Emily's heart sank. "I'm sorry, Ethan," she said, her voice breaking. "I was wrong." She didn't know how to bridge the gap between them. For too long, she had been caught up in her own struggle, demanding job at the local hospital, her battle with anxiety and depression, and the weight of her expectations for Ethan. She had pushed him, believing it was for his own good, but now she realized it had exhausted him. "Mom, you don't understand," Ethan continued, his voice growing stronger. "School is overwhelming. The workload is insane: algebra, biology, history, all piling up. I've tried my best, but my grades still aren't good enough. And every time I come home, I'm scared you'll ask how I did on a test today. Your expectations, they're suffocating me." Emily's eyes welled up with tears. She had always seen Ethan as her smart, promising son, destined for greatness. But she hadn't realized that her hopes had become a burden. "I didn't know, Ethan. Why didn't you tell me?" He hesitated, not wanting to upset her. "Because it's not just about grades. At school, I'm dealing with other things. The kids in my class, they bully me. They call me nasty names, shove me in the hallways. Last week, someone tripped me on purpose in the cafeteria, and everyone laughed. Even Miss Thompson, my teacher, scolded me in front of the class over what they said I did. They lied, Mom, and I took the blame." Emily's heart shattered. "Oh, Ethan, why didn't you tell Miss Thompson? Why didn't you tell me?" Ethan's gaze dropped. "I didn't want to be the bad guy. I believe God is watching me, and I don't want to hurt others, even if they hurt me. I just want you to believe I'm not the person they say I am." Tears streamed down Emily's cheeks. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I've been too wrapped up in my own world to see what you're going through. I've been unfair, scolding you about homework the moment you walk in the door. I've let you down." Ethan shook his head. "No, Mom, you haven't. I know you work hard. You stay up late charting patient records, barely sleeping. I didn't want to add to your stress." Emily reached across the table, taking his hand. "You're my son. Your burdens are mine too. You don't have to face them alone." Ethan's voice softened. "Mom, please don't tell Miss Thompson or the other kids' parents. I don't want them to get in trouble. The ones who hit me, I don't hate them anymore. They said I started it. And yeah, it hurts. But I'm not angry. I just need you to trust that I'm not that kind of person." "I understand, my love," Emily said, squeezing his hand. "I won't do anything. I respect your decision. But Ethan, you can't keep pushing yourself so hard. You're burning out, and that's not good. I know how it feels. My anxiety, my depression, it's a battle. The meds help a little, but the doctor says I need to find joy, change my habits. I want you to have a better life. I don't want you to carry the same weight I do." Ethan's eyes lit up with an idea. "What if we do something different this weekend? Instead of you working overtime and me going to tutoring, why don't we talk to Dad about planning a family trip? Somewhere fun, maybe?" Emily smiled, the first time that evening. "That's a great idea. I bet your dad will love it. Let's make it happen." That weekend, when Michael Carter returned from his construction job in the suburbs, the family packed their old SUV and headed to the coast, a 3-hour drive to Crescent Beach. It wasn't their usual routine of running errands or watching movies in Harborview. This time, they chose the open sea, the endless horizon, and the freedom of a day unbound by schedules. As they walked along the shore, Ethan kicked off his shoes, letting the cool sand slip between his toes. The waves crashed against the rocks, their rhythm steady and unwavering. "Mom, look at those waves," he said, pointing to the ocean. "They're so free, so wild. Nothing holds them back." Emily nodded, her hair blowing in the wind. That's right, Ethan. They're a gift from God. Nature is like that, full of love and freedom. It doesn't have to be anything other than what it is. Ethan smiled brightly, then grew thoughtful. You know, there's this kid in my class named Jake. He doesn't believe in God. The other day, he stood up in class, pointed to the ceiling, and shouted, "If God is real, make this desk split in half." Everyone laughed. I didn't say anything. But my friend Miyashi's amazing walked over, put her hand on his shoulder, and said, "Jake, if you live every day believing God is watching and try to do good, what do you lose when you die? Nothing. But if you don't believe and you do bad things, curse, hurt others, and then find out God is real, what have you lost?" Emily's eyes widened. What did Jake say? He didn't say anything, Ethan replied. He just lowered his head, went back to his seat, and started reading. The whole class was stunned. Mia was so brave. She taught Jake an important lesson: humility and respect. Emily pulled Ethan into a hug. "You're wiser than I thought, Ethan. I misjudged you. I've been too focused on your grades, on pushing you to be perfect, and I hurt you. I'm sorry for all the times I came home and yelled, asking if you'd finished your homework." Ethan hugged her back. "I got upset sometimes, yeah, but I always forgave you. To me, you're the best mom in the world. You're my sky." Emily laughed through her tears. "And you're mine. But Ethan, people change. Life changes us. When you grow up, when you have a girlfriend, a wife, kids, they'll be your priority. I'll step back, let you live your own life. That's what moms do. We let go, even when it's hard, so you can grow." Ethan's face fell. "Mom, don't say that. You'll always be important to me." "I know," she said softly, "but time moves on. It's okay. I just want you to live a meaningful life." Ethan nodded, then brightened. "Oh, Mom, Mia told me something else. The other day, she cried because she heard about the earthquakes in Turkey and Myanmar. So many people died. She said God told her it's just the beginning, that He wants His children to wake up, return to love and tradition, and turn away from hate and temptation." Emily's heart ached for Mia's pain. "Send my thanks to Mia, okay? She's an amazing friend." "She really is," Ethan said. "And Dad, he's always been there for me. He never yells at me like you sometimes do." He grinned playfully. "He's a good guy." Emily chuckled. "True. Your dad works so hard, even if we're not rich. He's steady, reliable, with no bad habits. I hope you grow up to be like him, an honest man, with faith and a support for your family." Ethan looked toward the horizon, where the sun was setting behind the mountains, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. "Mom, look." The sun rises, giving us light to live by, then sets, just like us. We only have one life, one chance to make it count. Emily put her arm around his shoulders. "Exactly. So let's live well, Ethan. Live with purpose, meaning, and don't waste a moment, and always hold on to faith." "I will," he promised. "I'll always remember what you taught me." The family spent the rest of the day at Crescent Beach, building sandcastles, collecting shells, and laughing as Michael tried to skip stones across the water. Ethan ran along the shore, chasing seagulls, his laughter echoing over the waves. Emily watched him, her heart lighter than ever. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope not just for Ethan, but for herself. Back home, life didn't become perfect overnight. Emily still struggled with anxiety, though she started therapy and made small changes, like morning walks to clear her mind. Ethan still faced challenges at school, but he grew stronger, confronting bullies with quiet resilience. Inspired by Mia's courage, he began talking to Ms. Thompson about the harassment, and she, to her credit, took it seriously, creating a safer classroom. Michael made an effort too. He cut back on overtime to spend more evenings with the family. The Carter family became a united front, no longer just individuals struggling under the same roof. One evening, as Ethan worked on his homework, he looked up at Emily, who was chopping vegetables for dinner. "Mom, do you think God really watches everything we do?" Emily paused. "I do, Ethan. Not in a scary way, like he's waiting to judge us. More like he's cheering us on, hoping we choose love over hate, kindness over cruelty." Ethan nodded. Mia says the same. She thinks the world is getting harder: earthquakes, wars, all that stuff, but it's a wake-up call to be better. "She's wise," Emily said. "And so are you." Over the months, Ethan's grades improved. He studied smarter and learned more with Mia's support. Jake, the boy who had mocked God, joined their study group, his arrogance softened by Mia's words and Ethan's quiet strength. Meanwhile, Emily found solace in small moments, watching the sunrise with Michael, laughing with Ethan, or praying quietly before bed. Her depression didn't disappear, but it became manageable. One spring afternoon, the Carter family returned to Crescent Beach. Ethan, now taller and more confident, stood at the water's edge, waves lapping at his feet. "Mom, Dad, look at this place. It's like it's alive, like it's singing." Michael ruffled his son's hair. "It's God's masterpiece, kid. Just like you." Emily smiled, her heart full. "Let's come back here often," she said, "to remind us what matters: faith and living a meaningful life." Ethan nodded, his eyes on the horizon. "Deal, and I'll hold you to it, Mom." As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the sea, the Carter family stood together, their shadows stretching across the sand. They weren't perfect, full of flaws, but bound by love and a shared belief in something greater. The waves rolled on, free and untamed, a reminder that life, like the ocean, was a gift to be cherished, not controlled. And in that moment, Ethan knew he would carry his mother's words with him forever. Live with purpose, meaning, and don't waste a moment. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe and share your own story in the comments. Your voice matters.